The other day I noticed an eco drive on this dude's wrist. I noticed it because I have the exact same one. It's coming up for review pretty soon. He loves it. Absolutely loves it. You're looking at a picture of it now. I asked him if I could take a picture. He's like, yeah, go ahead. I told him what it was for. He didn't believe me. But truly, it is a watch review on YouTube. And he says he just loves the watch. But as you can tell, it is thrashed. And he also remarked about that. He's like, yeah, man, I work hard. I'm always banging it and rubbing it against stuff. And I wish the crystal, looked good. That's what this video is about. And maybe if he would watch this video, any future watch he has, it won't look like that. We're going to keep your watch crystal looking pretty good with my process that I came up with to protect my own watch crystals. It's very affordable. It's not going to cost you very much. It's easy to do. It's fun to do. Here we go. It is a process. And first I'm going to start off with a couple watches. Some I've reviewed, some I haven't. I'll give you a heads up on some of the stuff coming up. Of course, the Golfmaster GWN 1000. This is an important aspect where I'm going to show you, and that's a Kimber 357. That's coming up for review too, by the way. So that is a great watch, and I'm going to talk about that here in just a second. Then we have the Hawker Harrier 2 by AV8. Oh, so cool. Classic vintage style aviation watch, but it's actually the Harrier 2 series. What all these watches have in common. And let's see. No, that one doesn't have one. Oh, here we go. Fossil Nate Tactical Chrono. That's a freaking sick watch. Big old face on it. So what do these things have in common, these watches? Of course, they are crystal protected. Wearing my crystal protectors that I custom cut for each watch. You can barely tell, right? Can you even tell on this one? Not really, not unless you look really close. Now, let me show you my first gen that I came up with. And all this stuff, I'm going to put the links to Amazon. I'm going to show you a screenshot because I didn't bring a box in of what it looks like. It's like ArmorSuit stuff we'll end up talking about. But I tried a different material earlier last year, and actually this Golfmaster is still wearing that material. It's okay. You can kind of see I've scuba dove with this watch. I've been in the surf with it. It's been on the Zodiac many times. So it's wearing, it's got kind of a ripple in it, kind of a rub. This crystal protector material I ended up using, I don't like. Even though it is crystal clear, I don't think it's as durable, and I don't think it's as protective as this stuff right here. This AV8 Harrier 2 is wearing my current generation of, I think it's ArmorShield or ArmorSuit, I honestly forget, material. Now what we're going to do is we're going to buy an entire roll of this for an iPad, not for a watch, and that's why it's so cost effective. So you're going to get a big roll. And I'm going to show you the process here. We're going to measure the diameter of your crystal, and we're going to cut it out. We're going to make a template and cut it out. This material is outstanding. So you can always tell when it's on your watch because it kind of has a slight vinyl feel to it, even though you really can't tell it's on there. It's a super high grade, totally clear material that will protect your watch face. Now, how long will this last is the question you might ask. It really depends on you. If you're a construction worker, you're into just working hard into tight places where you're rubbing your watch a lot, it's going to get rub marks on it. Some of them, by the way, will come off with alcohol. You might try some alcohol. But consider it kind of a disposable thing. It's going to have a lifespan. For me, I try to get a year of use out of my watch face protector that I cut, this custom one I'm showing you right now, before I replace it. And once you get your template cut, just making replacements is easy. And I'm going to show you the ones I have in storage. This Nate also has it on too. And what model of Nate is this, just in case you want to know? It was JR 1354. I just really love this watch. It's so cool. And it actually has a rotating bezel on it. You don't even see that hardly. Very cool. And it's so clear. I mean, I'll pick up my watches and I'll go, do I have a crystal protector on that one? And I'll rub it. Yep, it's on there. Another reason I do it is because I'm buying and selling watches in the reviewing process, and so I try to keep them nice for the next owner. So for me, it adds resale value. Even though I have worn the watch, if this crystal is not scratched up, it's going to have more value, of course. Okay, so what do they have in common? They're all wearing my custom crystal protectors. These are the current iteration. So how do we do this? We're going to use a test bed right now to show you the process. This is the infantry watch that I just reviewed a couple days ago. I'll post that review soon. This is a very cool watch. It's a Bell & Rossi looking watch, of course. And I don't have a crystal protector on this one yet. And so we're going to put one on right now, right here. And I like it because it has a large crystal on it. And it's also, I believe, an acrylic crystal, because it's only a $25 watch. These aren't. That's like a $300 watch. That one's like a $130 watch. That one's pretty affordable, around $100. And we're going to put a crystal protector on that. The first thing we're going to do is measure across how big we want. And if you have watches of the same diameter, awesome. So I just have like a little simple ruler here, and I'm measuring that I want my crystal protector to be about, I mean, going straight across is about 38.5 millimeters. I want it to be smaller. So I really want to cut it around 37. You might notice too, this infantry watch has a dome feature on it. See how it's kind of curved? You might go, well, darn, is that going to bend around and adhere to the curvature of the crystal? The answer is yes. This material that I use will totally do it. It's awesome. When it dries, it really sticks on there. That's another reason I didn't like this generation of stuff, that it wouldn't curve. It's like a flat piece of plastic and not great. I should have a microfiber cloth up here. I don't have a blue shop towel. That'll be good enough. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to make sure that's totally cleaned, and we're going to cut a 37 millimeter. I might just describe the process to save time. What you're going to need probably is some way to really precisely measure that circle. Okay, move the gun out of the way, watches out of the way, get a work surface here. What I did years ago is I have a compass, and that's what I use. And one way you could do it, just kind of ballparking it, is you could just measure, half the span of your crystal like this, right? I mean, don't touch it to the face. You could scratch it. And usually go smaller than you would think. And then just do a test circle. Okay, so let's just do a test circle. And I have a cardstock here, and this is going to be my template. And believe it or not, you'll use this a lot, depending on how many watches you got. So I'm just making a nice circle here. And then we're going to measure that circle. Ooh, I did a good one on that one. Okay, I'm happy with that. And then let's measure it. That went way small. Way small. So I need to go bigger. And I must have measured wrong. Let me just do it this way. There's a lot of ways to skin the cat, and I'm just going to do it this way. So we know we want about a 37 millimeter, so I'll come out here. I'm not sure what span I was measuring, but that was way small. Incidentally, that size right there would be perfect for this. This is about a 32 millimeter crystal protector, and I don't put them on every watch. If it's recessed like a G-Shock, like this one, I don't even put a crystal protector on that, because it's pretty recessed, and plus it's not exactly round. You could like cut it to fit that, but I usually find the recessed one on G-Shock ones are pretty good. This is a GA 1100H, and then I also have the G7900 here. That's not rocking a crystal protector, the Star Wars watch. That looks better. And what we want is a nice clean circle. And I guess what I'll do is cut it out, and then I may put it on fast. Speed it up a little bit so you can see it. And when you cut this, you want to be super precise. Much better than you were in kindergarten. However, don't fret too much if it's not totally perfect, because remember, this is a disposable thing you're creating for your watch. Disposable. So if I have a little tiny of a little run of a flat portion on the circle, it's okay. If you have a really expensive watch, you want it to look nice, well, you can spend more time on it and get it absolutely right. Now you might be saying, well, there's probably a better way to cut out a 37, 36, 32 millimeter hole, whichever size your crystal is. And, looking around, is there a die that you could cut? Maybe. I highly doubt it. But even if you could find that die, the problem with that is you want this to be an inexpensive process. If I have to go out and buy it, let's just say that die to cut a 37 millimeter hole would be like, I don't know, $50. I mean, where's the economy in that? So yeah, I don't think that's the way to go. You want to keep this process cheap. And plus, it's only for probably 1 or 2 watches, right? I mean, if you're producing a factory of watches, cool. There you go. And then when you do that, you want to remeasure it. And then in my process, since I do work with a lot of different sizes of watches, you need to label it. So what I'll do right now is I'll put on here 37 millimeter. That way, as it goes into my storage area, I'll remember. Oh crap, I forgot the material and I'm not going back to get it. But pretend right now that I do have the material. Okay, so it's a sheet of material, and I may have a photo or something I've taken in the past, and I'll put that down. What I'll do is I'll put my template down, and I take my pin on the non-coated side, so the side you're going to peel up, and then I'll go around with a thin Sharpie. So this is important that you use this type of pin. You don't want to use a ballpoint. You don't want to use something that will smear. You need a thin, clicky Sharpie like this. So we put the shiny side down, and then we'll hold it, the template, very still, and then we trace the outline of the template on the back side of our template material. And then carefully, sometimes I'll just lift it up and shake the template off, because what you don't want to do is have it smear and then you have a sloppy line. So you don't want to do that. And then you have a nice line that you can cut out. Again, you'll grab your scissors, you'll be patient with it, you'll get good at it the more you do it, and you cut out this. Yeah, I already had it, and I already had the template out. I'm just cutting another one for the camera. And here is the material that I'm talking about, this ArmorSuit or freaking whatever it's called material. But see how I lined it on the back side. So here's the shiny side, that's what's going to go on the watch, and then this is the one that's peeled up. Okay, so now pretend we did that, we traced it, we cut it out, we got a pretty good circle. Now we're ready to apply it, and it's really easy. I'll put this down just to catch the water, because there is going to be some water involved in the process. Not a lot, just a little bit. Where did the watch go? Here we go. We're going to make sure it's clean, the watch face. And now we're going to just dry fit it, make sure that's the size we want. That seems about right. I'm going to come lower so you kind of see what I'm doing here. Turn this light on, that will help a little bit. Now get your knife, or I find that a utility blade with a super sharp knife is helpful. And we've got to peel up the material here. So this is a little bit tricky. And actually, before we're going to do that, we're going to get our squeegee ready. By the way, that comes in the kit that you're going to buy. And we're going to get our bottle of solution. And that also comes in the kit. When it runs out, just put water in it with just a very tiny bit of detergent when it runs out. And it'll do the same thing. What it's going to do is lubricate and float the crystal protector so we can get it where we want it. So the way I'm doing it nowadays, and there's a lot of different ways, is I just pick that shiny part up, just like I did. Now the thing, see how I just peeled that up? Just with my utility knife, and this is a Sheffield. Notice, by the way, you did kind of bend it just a little bit, but it doesn't matter. Don't sweat it too much. Don't drop this on the floor. This is a sticky side down, obviously. Now we're going to give a shot of water here on the infantry. That's all. Let me get that side wet too. Shot of water on the crystal protector. And then we'll lay it down like that. I usually put the bent part right around the 9 o'clock position. Just, I don't know, just do that. And we're almost home free, believe it or not. And then I'll just put a little bit on there on the top. And then I start squeegeeing. And what I'm going to make sure is I get any air out. Believe it or not, this material is so high quality that we're using. It really just wants to go on by itself. You don't have to do much. Just a light squeegeeing to get the air bubbles out. Like that. And you will love how it protects your watch. Won't do anything for the bezel. The bezel's still going to show wear, but at least your crystal will have less wear on it. If you take a big Vulcan hit to your crystal, it's going to penetrate the material we're putting on it, of course, and gouge your crystal, depending on what your crystal's made of. If it's acrylic, it's soft. Some of the other materials will fare better. And dude, we're almost done. Look at that. And that's on the domed crystal, dudes. That's on that domed crystal. Now, if you're really worried about your watch band getting wet, if it's like a fancy watch, you could tape it with like painter's tape. I've done that before. And then what I'll do is I'll usually use a blue towel here. I'll just kind of dab it. And then I check the positioning on it because I want it to be centered. I'm real kind of careful about that. I don't want it to be, you know, off. Let's see, how's my centering on it? We cut that pretty good. I mean, that is close to exactly where the size that I wanted. I'm just looking at if there's any overruns on it. That's freaking on. That's perfect, dudes. Look at that. And then let it dry for a couple hours and you can wear it. There you go. I mean, this material you get from Amazon, dudes, it is so excellent. I mean, it doesn't minimize reflection, so it's not anti-reflective, as you can tell. I don't care. You know, what its job is to not cloud the display. It doesn't. And to be durable, it is. And to be economical, and it's that as well. So, like I said, these other watches, and I didn't show you this one, check that one out. All coated with the same process, the same material. That's also an Aviate Harrier too. Gorgeous aviation watch. But I mean, I don't want to wear this watch around. If I were to keep this watch and wear it around and thrash on it, why thrash your crystal when you don't have to, when this process is so easy? And it is easy. Now look at all the ones that I have cut out already. Told you I'd show you these. And I put them in little plastic baggies. You so want to do that. Because that shiny side, that, I don't know what they're making it out of, vinyl, clear, polymer, whatever, it will stick. And they'll stick to each other and then it's ruined. Because when you try to peel them apart, they come unstuck. It's a mess. Don't do that. So just get some little tiny Ziploc baggies for your replacement ones. When you're sitting down watching TV or Nutnfancy video, you know, just like in kindergarten, dude. Start cutting out your templates, start tracing the backside of your material, and lo and behold, you'll have a bunch of, like I do, templates that you use. This, by the way, is an old tape roll, and what I use this for, now I'm glad I remembered, because this is important. When I'm pressing my template down on the backside, you want to keep it in position. And I use this to press down. You can use any cylindrical object to do it. And as I trace around with my Sharpie, that's just what I use, then it doesn't move. If it's moving, then you just smeared your line that you're trying to trace and transcribe on the material. So it works great. Then I have a Ziploc bag with extra stuff. These are other kits I've purchased in the past, and I just save, the little squeegee they come with, the little spray thing, and it works awesome. That ArmorShield material is also really great for any device you have. I cover my iPads in them when I have it, and it saved them. I cover my iPhone in it all the time, also saves them. So now you can wear your watch through the year. I'm going to give you 1 year before you have to replace it. You might get longer, and it's going to be looking like this a year from now. You might have some marks on it. for instance, I have a Series 2 watch on right now, and it's wearing one of my custom crystal protectors on it. And it's been on for about, not a year. It's been about 4 months of wear that I've had on this one. And this one I actually used a purchased Apple iWatch crystal protector made out of glass as a template. And once I got that perfectly shaped template, I didn't cut it out myself, then I'm like, hey, I'm home free. Now I can just use my own material and just cut my templates out. So I'll run this for a couple more months, peel it off, make another one. It takes me all of 5 minutes. There you go. Enjoy your watch addiction. I do. And then more importantly, minimize wear. Especially if you're like me and you end up selling some of your watches. See you later.